Over one, I'm Kamari Darrington. James Crenshaw is the producer today. And these two teams met last year in Fairfield. Fort Valley State came up with a 21-19 victory, but both seasons went completely different after that. Miles ended up starting 0-5, but they ended up finishing 5-1. They ended up winning the SIAC championship. Fort Valley State lost 6 of their final 7 games and finished 2-8. Miles College already has hit the field. They will get the ball to start the game. Fort Valley State in the home blues. Miles in the road white with the purple trim.
All right, my close-up camera. Give me close-ups.
And here come the Fort Valley State Wildcats trying to bounce back from a 2-8 season. Our head coaches, Miles Reginald Ruffin, his 9th season at the helm at Miles, and what a journey that's been for him. 50-36 record. He's now a 4-time SIAC West champion, and he's won 3 SIAC titles now at Miles. Meanwhile, for Fort Valley State, head coach Kevin Porter, his 4th season with the Wildcats, 12-19 record. He won the SIAC West in 2016 and 2017, won the SIAC title in 2016. Miles will receive the opening kickoff from Fort Valley State. Fort Valley State will have Eli Mashburn kicking. He'll handle the kicking and punting duties this season for Fort Valley State. And back deep, have the combination of Darrell Freeman, transfer from West Georgia, and Lee Anthony Robinson, who returned a punt for a touchdown last year against Tuskegee. Miles won their 5th SIAC title with that win over Albany State, 50-23. And, boy, what a season it was, a roller coaster season for Miles. They needed game-winning plays against Kentucky State, Clark Atlanta, and Tuskegee to get to the championship game. Meanwhile, Fort Valley State trying to host the SIAC title game for the 2nd time. The East Division champion will host it. Of course, they won 21-19 here last season. They are just about set to get going here. Great to have you with us on a hot Saturday. It's supposed to be it's 95 degrees right now. Feels like 102. We're underway.
You can't go that far out.
And Freeman feels it at the 12. Goes to the outside and trying to reverse his field. He's still on his feet across the 35, and he'll be finally stopped near the 39-yard line. What a run back by Darrell Freeman. So his first touch back for Miles is a good one. About a 27-yard return, and that's where Miles will start this offensive possession. Daniel Smith is the quarterback, the left-hander. Led the SIAC with 2,217 yards and 19 touchdown passes a season ago. Second-team SIAC preseason selection. Darrell Freeman will start off in the backfield. Wide receivers, Antonio Lee and Leonard Tyree, along with Lee Anthony Robinson. DeAndre Harvey's starting fullback. Get to the offensive line here in a minute. First play from scrimmage is a handoff to Freeman, and Freeman steps through the middle, gets it out to the 42-yard line. Let's pick up about 3 for Freeman. So his first carry of the 2019 season. Offensive line from left to right, the left tackle, Theodore Victoria. Isa Washington is the left guard. Aaron Scroggins is the center. The right guard is Nathaniel Williams. The right tackle is Roger Womack. Again, Freeman trying the left side, and he takes it all the way out of the 45-yard line. So a nice couple of games to start things off. First 2 runs for Freeman. Last season, Miles struggled to run the ball at times. They had the preseason SIAC Player of the Year in Justin Hardy. He was injured the 4 games last year. They ended up second to last in rushing at 106 yards a game. Fort Valley State gave up 166 yards on the ground per game last year. 3rd and 4 as Harvey goes in motion. Now Robinson comes back to the other side. And Smith looking to throw. Comes left side. Harvey makes the catch. No. Yes, he did, but he only got a yard out of it. Harvey made the stop. Smith with the completion for a yard. It looks like Miles will punt. Jay Fitch coming out to punt. And back deep. Left two guys back there. Is Malik Rout and Jeffrey Mack back deep to receive the kick for Fort Valley State. Got to watch out for a fake right here as well. Fitch's punt. Coming over towards Root. Lets it bounce to 20 and fumbles it out of bounds. Luckily for Rout, he was right by the sideline, and he takes it out to the 27-yard line. 13:03 left to play here in the opening quarter. So the quarterback for Fort Valley State, starting quarterback is Slade Jarman. Jarman missed the season's final 7 games with an injury that he suffered against Miles. He did lead the game-winning touchdown drive and the touchdown pass to Jalen Loader to end it with about 20 seconds left in the game. He was the 2017 SIAC Newcomer of the Year. In the backfield, Jamari Clark will start. Q.A. Walker, Shamar Bridges, and Jeffrey Mack are the receivers. And Jarman looking to throw on first down. Swings it out to Clark, and Clark has room to run up the sideline. Big hit at the 33. And that's where they'll mark it. They'll mark it at the 32-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup. So Jarman off to a good start. First reception for Clark in the game. Bring up second down and about 5. 4 wide receivers for Fort Valley State. Jarman fakes the handoff. Now coming right side, complete. That's to Bridges. His first catch of the game. Like Terry Beckham on the stop. Yard short of the marker. It'll be third down and a yard. Well, Jarman 2 for 2 on the drive. Got to get to 37 for a first down. Blitz from the outside, and a nice job inside by the Miles defense, which was very stingy a season ago. Mitchell Smiley was there. Also Cameron Sneed. Clark lost a yard, as a matter of fact. And Fort Valley State will punt. Mashburn goes back to punt.
You don't have to zoom out to get wide. Just stay where you at. You want to be more close than wide.
Actually lost a couple of yards on that play. Back deep is Lee Anthony Robinson for Miles.
Yeah, you okay. Just follow the track of the ball when you're punting, and then you go in slightly when the dude catch the ball.
It's over Mashburn's head. It's going towards the end zone, and Mashburn, it's blocked. It's picked up at the 6. Touchdown, Miles. Looks like Wade Streeter on the fumble recovery, and Miles is taking the lead, just as they did last year with the play. This time off special teams, and a nice job. I didn't see exactly who blocked it. Streeter picked it up. Mashburn tried to get it away, and he could not get it up past. It's like Justin Ruiz, number 22, on the block. Well, he came through. So the extra point upcoming. Jackson Spradlin knocks it through. So Miles off the block punt. The touchdown for Wade Streeter. It is 7-0. Miles on top of Fort Valley State. You're watching SIAC football on Flo Sports. The race has begun for the 2019 SIAC Cross Country Championship, which takes place in Rock Hill, South Carolina, on October 25th. Fans can follow the SIAC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the SIAC for all access coverage. So Miles off to a terrific start. Streeter getting the touchdown, about a 6-yard return. And Miles has a 7-0 lead. Brady Hamill will kick off for Miles. Back deep for Fort Valley State. They've got 3 guys back there. Malik Root back there along with Jeffrey Mack. And Walker back there as well. Hamels kick. It'll come down to Root at the 10. Root goes straight up the middle, across the 25 all the way out to the 29-yard line. That's where they'll mark it. And Fort Valley State will get its second possession right after the block punt by Miles College. They actually give that block to Jerry Shade. It was recovered by Jerry Shade. Wade Streeter with a block. 11-10 to play in the first quarter. So Miles already up 7-0. Fort Valley State having to play from behind. 4 receivers set for Fort Valley State. German looking to throw. Steps up, throws over the middle, pass is complete. That's A.J. Shipman, and he's wrestled down at the 36-yard line. Mitchell Smiley made the stop. Pickup of about 6. Second down and 6 coming up for Fort Valley State. Matt goes in motion. Jarman to throw again. Going deep over the middle. Pass is too high for Mack and incomplete. Smiley was on the coverage on Mack. Here's the offensive line for Fort Valley State. Darius Hicks, Waylon Bell, the left guard. The center is Emmanuel Boone. Kenny Holmes, the right guard. And T.J. Faust is the right tackle. Third down and 4. Jarman swings it out to Clark. Clark has room to run, but it's quickly bottled up. Kadarius Roberts was the first man. There's a flag on the play. He lost a couple back to the 34-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is all about. Some big hits. Antonio Evans was there along with Jalen Thomas. Thomas was the one with the helmet who fell off. Fort Valley State offense still on the field. Personal foul against Miles. So we'll take it all the way to the 49-yard line of Fort Valley State. It'll be a first down, actually 49 of Miles. So Fort Valley State in plus territory. 4 wideouts for Fort Valley State. Jarman fakes the handoff, throws the slant complete. That is Bridges again, his second catch of the game. And he gets it out to the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup. Good job by Jarman. A couple of nice fakes here to start. And Bridges, the freshman, off to a good start. Junior from Jacksonville, Florida. Second down in the yard. Jamar Clark staying in the backfield. He's going to be shouldering the load in the backfield this season for Fort Valley State. Jarman, screen pass set up, and nice job by for the Miles defense. Kadarius Roberts, along with Austin Stevens, the preseason Defensive Player of the Year, combined on the stop. They lose 3 yards back to the 43-yard line. Bring up third down. Been all passes on this drive so far for Fort Valley State. They're facing a 3rd and 4. 9 minutes to go here in the first.
Excuse me, what station are y'all streaming on? It's on Flow Sports.
Jarman looking to throw left side. It's bounced in and incomplete. Closest man there was Jeffrey Mack. So a promising drive for Fort Valley State is stalled at the 43. Anthony Robinson back deep. Eli Mashburn to punt. Robinson standing at his own 10. 8:52 remaining in the opening quarter.
They need to get down, bro. Tell them when they coming through, tell them they need to get down.
4th down. Mashburn gets the punt away this time. Robinson lets it go over his head. And it gets a roll for Fort Valley State. It's down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And that's where Miles will start things off with 8:41 to play here in the first quarter. Speaking of volleyball, the SIAC got a $1 million grant for men's volleyball. That'll start in 2020 and 2021. 6 schools will have teams: Kentucky State, Central State, Benedict College, Morehouse College, Payne College, and Fort Valley State. So Miles starting things off inside its own 5-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 4. Freeman in the backfield with Smith. He'll get the handoff, coming, cuts it back right side. And nice tackle. Looks like Zach Anderson was there along with Deshari Patterson for Fort Valley State. It's a pickup about 5 out to the 9. Bring up 2nd down, 5 more yards for Freeman. Smith on 2nd down, flags down, up the sideline for Tyree. It's almost intercepted. Like Nico Wiggum, a couple of times against Miles last year, had shots at interceptions. The flag came just as the snap came. So it's offsides against Fort Valley. So the penalty will give Miles, looks like they're going to give Miles a 1st down at the 14. So Miles up 7-0 here. 8:12 remaining in the quarter. Freeman spins. Actually, that was, I don't know, we lost the ball on that play. So that's number 26 on the play. That's Dante Edwards. Edwards with his first carry. He takes it all the way out to the 20-yard line. That's one good for 6 yards, so a good run by Edwards. So he backs up Freeman. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Smith off the fake, complete to Tench, and Tench is tackled by Anderson. Nice tackle right at the stick. Zach Anderson, the preseason's all-second team selection. It is enough for a 1st down. 4 yards there for Tench, his first catch of the game. 2nd completion for Smith. Another free play. Smith going up top, looking for Lee, Antonio Lee, who is back for Miles, and another flag down. Might be interference against Tyler Moore. So we got 2 flags on the play. Looks like Fort Valley State was offside, and then perhaps interference against Tyler Moore here on the outside. One of the officials has his flag out and his hat off. Antonio Lee led the team in receiving in 2017. Last year was injured for most of the season, but now he's back. Another weapon for Daniel Smith in this offense. So they accept. So it's an offside penalty that they accept. And it takes it up to the 29-yard line. Smith off the play fake, has a lot of room to run. Got the 1st down, slides at the 40. 11 yards for Smith on the run. And that'll be a 1st down for Miles at the 39-yard line. So 10 yards for Smith. He's got things going here on this second possession for Miles. First possession ended in a punt.
Too far out, wide camera. You don't need to be that far
Edwards in the backfield.
Close up camera, you good.
And he'll get the carry coming left side. Nice cut. Still going on his feet. Tough to bring down. He gets it out to midfield. That'll be 11 more yards for Edwards, and he's got a 1st down for Miles.
All right, my close up.
Back-to-back 1st downs for Dante Edwards. Edwards, redshirt freshman from Mobile.
All right, that's good. Let's shoot it from right there.
Freeman stays in the backfield on his first down. Smith off the play fake, has room inside, cuts it back across the grain, down to the 45-yard line. 5 more yards for Smith. It's been all runs on this drive for Miles. So they look to extend a 7-0 lead. We've got 5:50 to play in the opening quarter. 5 yards for Smith. It's 2nd down and 5. Fort Valley State shifting. Smith off the fake, hits Tench again, and Tench is quickly hit. Gets it out to the 38-yard line, another first down. 7 yards for Tench, and it's a methodical drive for Miles. Like Anderson was in on the tackle again. First down, Miles at the 38. This time it's Freeman that gets the carry, and he's bottled up in the backfield. Well, Baldwin was in on the Michaela Yancey was in on the stop for Fort Valley. They lost a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Smith looking to throw, comes right side, passes complete to Freeman. A big hit by Wiggum. Aaron Dorr also there. A 4-yard gain on the play for Freeman as he gets it to the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and about 8. Second pass of the drive. 11th play of the drive coming up here on 3rd down and 7. Down to 5 minutes left in the quarter. 4 minutes left in the quarter. Sorry about that. Wiggum cheats off of Tyree. Here's Smith under pressure. Can he get it away? Flags are down. He throws it short. Got it past the line of scrimmage. Tyree was in the area, but we got another flag. Might be holding against Miles. It was in that area. Second penalty against Miles. He'll take it back to the 45. So now it's going to be 3rd and 17. Demetrius Harris, Nathaniel Freeney, Malcolm Garrett, Desiree Patterson across the line to start things off. Aaron Dorr, Noah Walter, and Majesty Hansberry. Now they moved it up to the 35. This is the offense for Miles. Smith, Freeman, and Harvey in the backfield. Lee and Tyree are the receivers. Victorian, Washington, Scroggins, Williams, and Womack across the front line. And the tight end is Montavious Tench. So they decline the penalty. It's 4th down. Smith, Powless tipped in the air, incomplete. That was dangerous. He looked for Robinson over the middle. It's going to be a turnover on down, so Fort Valley State's defense holds. And they will take over at their own 35-yard line with 3:37 to play here in the first quarter. So right now, Slade Jarman, 5 of 7 for 21 yards. Clark, one carry for 2 yards. Shipman, 1 reception for 6 yards. Bridges, 2 receptions for 13 yards. Jarman, left side. Oh, dangerous. Rodney Coleman Jr. almost had himself a pick 6. Pass was incomplete. Looking for Walker on that left side. Miles defense up front. Jalen Thomas, Kadarius Roberts, Joshua McNeil, and Cameron Sneed. Mitchell Smiley, Antonio Edmonds, Austin Stevens across the middle in the linebacker spot. Over the middle and route, could not hang on. So he felt the pressure from a couple of guys that were there. Maxwell Wells laid the hit on route. Wells and Coleman and Beckham are the corners. Wells and Walker are the safeties for Miles. It's 3rd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Jarman going deep, left side for Walker. He makes the catch, one-handed and extended. Beautifully done by Walker. His first catch for Fort Valley State is a good one. All the way down to the 28-yard line. That's good for 37 yards. What a play by Walker. My goodness, first down, Fort Valley State. Now Jarman right side. That pass is caught, and breaking away is Bridges down the sideline at the 5-yard line. And the Fort Valley State receivers are pumped up. That one good for 23 yards for Bridges, his 3rd catch of the game. Now 1st and goal from the 5. Fort Valley State looking to tie things up. Jarman, the pitch, right side. Big hit at the 5-yard line, 6-yard line. Jalen Loader with his first carry of the game. He loses a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down. So back at the 6, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Loader still in the backfield. 4 receivers for Fort Valley State. Going to tie it up. Here's Jarman. Looking left side for the end zone. Walker is there. It's incomplete, and there's the flag. Coleman on the coverage. Well, it looks like Fort Valley State's going to get a fresh set of downs. Ball's going to be placed at the 2-yard line off the penalty. So 1st down at the 2. Jumping now 7 for 11 for 81 yards.
My wide camera. The ball has to be in your shot at all times. You gotta be where the ball is.
From the 2. Jarman, right side. Caught by Bridges. Touchdown, Fort Valley State. Shamar Bridges. What a drive for the junior from Jacksonville. A 2-yard score, and Fort Valley State is on the scoreboard. 1 point away from a tie. They declined the penalty, so Walker is either Bridges with a huge drive. Had a 23-yard catch and a 2-yard reception for the touchdown, and we're an extra point away from tying things up. Mashburn's extra point is up and good. So Fort Valley State tying things up on their 3rd possession of the game. And we are tied up at 7 here at Wildcat Stadium.
All right, my close-up camera. Give me always a close-up of the team that just scored. That's your
All eyes are on the Eastern Division, as the champion will earn the chance to host the 8th annual SIAC Football Championship on November the 16th. Fans can visit www.thesiac.com for official conference and championship game gear. Get your tickets today. So much like last season, Fort Valley State and Miles going back and forth. This time getting the party started a little bit earlier than they did last year. Game is tied at 7 with 2:05 to play here in the quarter.
The team that scores, y'all need that close-up from them.
65-yard drive in 8 plays. Taking a minute and 52 seconds off the clock. Good drive for Slade Jarman and Fort Valley State. Mashburn's kick. Freeman will take it from the goal line. Goes straight up the middle. Now cuts it to the outside, and he's across the 25 to the 28-yard line. That's where Miles will start their next possession with 1:59 left to play. We're also scheduled to broadcast the Valdosta State-Albany State game. Fortunately, some contractual issues. We're unable to get that game for you, but we'll give you updates on the SIAC games as they become available. We'll get you the scores from the other SIAC games at the end of this first quarter. Miles starting this drive from their own 28. And Smith is sacked. Fort Valley State gets back to the backfield. Noah Waller able to get the sack. All the way back to the 23-yard line. A loss of 5 on the play. It'll be second down. Robinson in motion now. Smith to throw again. Over the middle. Pass is caught. My goodness, and a big hit at the end. Big-time reception. Number 4 is Dominique McNeely. It's his first catch of the game. So McNeely takes it to 35. It's third down. That one good for 12. Got to get to the 38 for a first down. 4 receivers set for Miles. Smith to throw again. Flushed out of the pocket. Looks over the middle. It's intercepted. Oh, it's dropped. Hansberry had a touchdown, a possible touchdown, but he could not hang on to it. The pass is incomplete. Another dangerous throw for Smith. A 3 and out for Miles. Mack and route back deep. They're both standing just inside their own 35. Fitch with another punt. This one spirals and route. Makes the signal for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 29. That's going to be a flag. He can't make the signal for a fair catch and then run. .36-yard punt, but it's going to be a penalty against Fort Valley State. 32 seconds left in the quarter. Actually, they're going to pick up the flag, looks like. So Fort Valley State will have it at their own 29-yard line. At halftime, we'll have both bands perform as well. The Purple Marching Machine for Miles and the Blue Machine Marching Band for Fort Valley State. Jarman looking to throw. Under pressure. Escapes it. Gets a good block and dives down to the 40. Looks like Shipman ran interference for him. That's a first down for Jarman as he takes it out to the 40-yard line. Final seconds of the first quarter. Game tied at 7 between Miles and Fort Valley State. The season opener here on Flow Sports. First of now 19 games that we'll be streaming live. All the way to the week before the SIAC Championship. That is the end of the first quarter. Miles and Fort Valley State are tied at 7. And now it's time to give you an update on what's going on in the SIAC today. As we get set for the second quarter, teams will switch over. Earlier today, Kentucky State got a 13-7 win on the road at Robert Morris. A huge win for Kentucky State and Charlie Jackson's debut with the Thoroughbreds. Also earlier today, it was Quincy University with a 38-8 win over Central State. Lane facing South Carolina State in Orangeburg. We'll have an update on that game. Livingstone and Clark Atlanta will get started at 7 p.m., as will Valdosta State and Albany State. Benedict and Fayetteville State will start at 7 p.m., as will Morehouse and Edward Waters. Other game going on right now, Tuskegee on the road at Alabama State. It is a Tuskegee 7-6 lead as they are into the second quarter. So Tuskegee trying to get off to a 1-0 start.
They wanted me to tell you that there was a preset to read. Chris Myers wanted me to tell you that there was a preset to read too.
A what?
A preset.
In any event, we're ready for the second quarter. These two teams battle. First down for Fort Valley State at the 40. Jarman coming on right side to Clark. That's a face mask against Stevens. Somebody had to call that one. Clark gets it out to the 44-yard line. Surprised that the official didn't see it right there. So 5 more yards for Clark, but they're going to add to it with the face mask. It's going to take it into Miles' territory. Should be at the 40, the 41. .91 yards for Fort Valley State in that first quarter. Miles at 65 in the first quarter. And the game that's tied at 7. Just underway in the second quarter. So from the 41, Jarman will keep it into the 30-yard line. Another first down. Jarman dives down, picks up 11 more. And he's down to the 30-yard line. Give Fort Valley State another first down. Wildcats on the move. Jarman steps up again. This time he's wrapped up. Marquise Leverett was the first man to make the stop. Now the tempo. No gain on the play for Jarman. It is second down. And a timeout called by Miles. 14:08 left to play in the second quarter. All roads lead to Rock Hill, South Carolina for the 2019 SIAC Volleyball Championship from November 18th through the 20th. Follow the SIAC on social media at the SIAC for full coverage.
Always stay with the team that's got
And keep up with the latest news and updates regarding SIAC athletics by visiting the official website of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference at www.thesiac.com. Season opener here for Miles and Fort Valley State. Miles got a touchdown from Jarius Shade on a 5-yard punt blocked return. It was blocked by Wade Streeter. Fort Valley State, a 2-yard touchdown pass from Jarman to Shamar Bridges. So the junior from Jacksonville tied it up late in the first quarter. 14:08 left to play. Fort Valley looking to add to the lead. Get their first lead of the game. Pass underneath. That's another catch for Bridges. It's down to the 28-yard line. It's going to bring up third and about 8. Four catches already for Bridges for 40 yards. Third down for Jarman. Going deep right side. Walker knocked away by Wells. Walker almost had another reception, but incomplete. See what Coach Porter does here on 4th down and 8. We're right next to the Fort Valley State coaches, so if it gets a little loud, you'll know why. So 4th down and 8. Fort Valley State looking like they're going for it. 3 receivers to the near side. Bridges up top on the left side. Game is tied at 7. We've got another timeout taken by Fort Valley State. So right now, Fort Valley State with an advantage in yards, 106-65. 87 yards through the air. 19 yards on the ground. Bridges and Walker have had the 2 big plays. Walker had the 37-yard reception. Shamar Bridges had a 23-yard reception and the touchdown, the 2-yarder. Jarman 9 for 13 for 87 yards before that last pass for 2 yards. Daniel Smith 5 for 9 for 28 yards for Miles. Good ball game here in beautiful Fort Valley, Georgia, and hot Fort Valley, Georgia, that's for sure. The game began at 6 o'clock Eastern time. It was 95 degrees at kickoff. Felt like 102. So Mashburn's going to try it here. This is going to be a 45-yard attempt from the left hash mark. Mashburn did not attempt to kick last year. He's adding kicking duties to his punting duties. Snap is down. Kick is away. And he drilled it. Eli Mashburn from 45 yards out. And Fort Valley State gets its first lead of the ball game. So the field goal was the 6th play of the drive. And down to the 28-yard line. 43 yards. Taking just over 2 minutes. Two minutes and 2 seconds on the drive. Great to have you with us once again for SIAC Football. Terrific partnership with the SIAC. It's our first game of the season opener. The defending SIAC champions going up against Fort Valley State. Wildcats with a 10-7 lead. Mashburn's kick a little shorter this time. Freeman runs, that's Robinson running under it at the 15. Tries to get to the outside. A nice tackle from behind. Michael Hicks Jr. able to drag Robinson down. Miles will start this drive at their own 21-yard line. 13-17 to play. Well, other than that big punt block for a touchdown, it's been all Fort Valley State. Miles has not really generated offense. Reginald Ruffin talked about this during media day. Teams always seem to start slow, pick it up later on in the season. High expectations in Fairfield. Right now, a 3-point game. Here's Edwards. Edwards had a good first half so far, all the way out to the 27-yard line. That one good for 6 yards. Miles will start to run some tempo. Malcolm Garrett was there in the mix. Bring up second down. 3 receivers, a couple of backs in the backfield with Smith. Off the play fake, Smith left side wide open is Harvey, and Harvey will bring it across the 35, all the way out to the 37-yard line, 36-yard line I should say. 9 yards for Harvey, and that's a first down for Miles. Harvey with the second catch of the game. So they're at the 36, 1st and 10. Tyree here to the near side. He does not have a catch in the game right now. Here's Edwards, left side, first down and more. Edwards rumbling down the sideline. Big hit, collision. Gets it all the way down to the 40-yard line. Huge play. 24 yards. That's another first down. Edwards now with 47 yards rushing on 4 carries. He was not on the original depth chart. And it wasn't on the depth chart we were given today. Well, he's making things happen so far for Miles. Smith off the play fake. Patterson went with Edwards, and Smith is pushed out of bounds inside the 40. Kentron James was over there. Pickup of 3 for Smith. Second down to the 37-yard line. 3 receivers for Miles again. Edwards and Harvey in the backfield with Smith. Leeds in the near side. Smith to throw. Under pressure, almost picked off. Dangerous throw. He tried to get to Harvey. There were 2 guys in the area. Third down coming up from the 37-yard line. Tuskegee and Alabama State are tied at 7. That is into the second quarter, as we are here at Fort Valley State. Big third down for the Fort Valley defense. Big third down for the Miles offense. Smith over the middle. That was tipped and still caught. Stop short of the first down. Cohen Hudson makes the catch. Well, that was Davis, Nakia Davis. Down to the 31-yard line. Good for 6, but not enough for the first down. So now Jackson Spradlin, 11 of 14 last season with a long of 47. This one's from 48. This would be a career long for Spradlin. This is for the tie. He nailed it. 48 yards for Jackson Spradlin. And the teams trade punches again. This time, Fort Valley State and Miles are tied at 10. Pair of long field goals for these 2 kickers. So that field goal is the 6th play of the drive. Then I'm going 48 yards. In just under 3 minutes. So once again, we're tied up. Last year we had so many close games in the SIAC, and this one is turning that way again. Here to start off our season. Great to have you with us. Brady Hamill will kick off. Mack, Rout, and Walker back deep for Fort Valley State. So we've had a punt block return for a touchdown, a pair of field goals, and a touchdown pass from Jarman to Bridges. That's how we got to the 10-10 tie. Big game for both sides as we begin the season. Miles will host Morehouse next Saturday. Fort Valley State heads down to MEAC country to take on FAMU. Hamill's kick. Mack will field it at the 7. Coming to the near side. Gets a block from Walker. Nice tackle. Once again, Dante Edwards with a nice tackle. It looked like Mack was going to get to the outside. We've got a flag down. It's going to be a block in the back. Walker got back there, but didn't get back there in time. So Fort Valley will have to start this drive close to their own 20-yard line. Actually, they'll be inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. $10:23 to play here in the second quarter. Again, both bands will perform at halftime. Jalen Lowe in the backfield with Jarman. 4 receivers for Fort Valley. Jarman left side. That is caught. And breaking away. Nice moves inside. That's A.J. Shipman. Shipman gets across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 8 yards for Shipman. Second catch of the game. We'll bring up second down and about 2. Blitz. Jarman able to get it off, and the pass is caught along the sideline by Loader. Loader gets it across the 30, the 32-yard line. Stevens and Walker on the tackle. That one good for 15 more, and we'll have another first down. Fort Valley State offense. Jarman, Clark, and Loader in the backfield. Walker, Bridges, and Mack are the receivers. Hicks, Bell, Boone, Holmes, and Faust along the line. Good job by this offensive line so far. Jarman over the middle, pass is caught. That one good to Griffin Watley. Griffin Watley, junior from Atlanta, with his first catch for Fort Valley State. He takes it to the 46-yard line. That's good for 14 yards, another first down. So this Fort Valley State offense, which struggled in the beginning of the season last year, finding a rhythm here with the return of Slade Jarman into the backfield. 8:50 to go here before halftime. Jarman again. This time he'll run it. He's got room. He's across midfield. He'll slide at the 48. They'll mark it at the 49. That one good for 5 yards. In the plus territory now is Fort Valley State, as it looks to take another lead. Four wideouts again for Fort Valley State. Jarman steps up, able to get away from pressure, has the first down, and he dives to the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 41, 8 yards for Jarman. He just was running for his life on that play, but he was able to slip through that would-be tackle from Cameron Sneed, and he's able to get it to the 40-yard line. Jalen Thomas was close along with McNeil. Another first down for Fort Valley State. Tied at 10, under 8 minutes left before halftime. Jarman flips it to Loader, and Loader is dragged down. No, he's not dragged down. He's a hard man to bring down. He picks up about 9 yards to the 32-yard line. Loader was an H-back last season. Loader, his first catch of the game. Second in the yard. Jalen Thomas had all jersey on that, and he couldn't bring the big man down. Jarman up the sideline, nobody there. Shipman went inside. Jarman thought he was going to go outside. It's incomplete. Bring up third down. Jarman now 14 for 19 for 135. Jarman on third down. Taken down by Stevens off the blitz. Austin Stevens with the big play. Jarman loses 8 on the play. It'll bring up fourth down. It looks like the punting unit will come out. Eli Mashburn will kick. He's standing at around the 47. And Anthony Robinson in his end zone. Fort Valley State, 10 guys on the field. Somebody better get out there. That's why everybody watches, to see what the punt team is. And we're going to have a timeout, I believe, by Fort Valley State. Well, Miles turned 14 starters from last season, 7 on each side. Also returning Spradlin and Fitch won the third SIAC championship, go along with in Division II, and won 2 when the SIAC was in Division III. Had 8 teams on the preseason All-SIAC team, 2 on the first team, Leonard Tyree and Aaron Scroggins, 6 on the second team, including Daniel Smith. And so Kendrell Walker and Jalen Thomas defensively, Jackson Spradlin. Austin Stevens was the preseason SIAC Defensive Player of the Year. Scroggins Tyree was a second-team selection. For Fort Valley State, they finished just 2-8 last season. Disappointing year for the Wildcats. They had a first-teamer and Zach Anderson and Darius Hicks, the lineman. Zach Anderson, the second team, the SIAC preseason. That one almost blocked again by Streeter. Robinson gets away from it, and it is down, and one of the Miles players touched it near the end zone. It's going to be a touchback.
Don't stop your zone. Just zoom all the way up. Zoom all the way to the point you want to zone to.
So that's going to be a net of 20 yards, unfortunately. Fort Valley will start. Miles will start. It was actually down inside the 5. The call was touchback, which would take it out to the 20. And it is a touchback. Legal touching. I believe that's a call against Fort Valley State. So Miles will start at their own 20. 6:13 to play before halftime. What has been an entertaining first half. Miles offensively finally was able to move the ball. They had a good drive. They ended on downs midway through the first quarter. 13-play drive came up empty. Well, we got a tie game at 10. Smith off the fake, makes a move. And Aaron Dorr makes the tackle at the 25-yard line. That one good for 5 on first down. 4th carry for Smith. Second and 5 for Miles. Smith 7. Freeman in the backfield. He gets the carry coming right side, and Patterson can't bring him down. First down for Darrell Freeman. He's a tough, hard runner. He gets it to the 33-yard line. 8 yards for Freeman. That's a first down for Miles. Fifth carry for Freeman. He made the most of it. So from the 33-yard line, it's first down. We've got 5:12 remaining in the second quarter. Freeman, right side, big hole, first down and more. Freeman across the 50 into Fort Valley State territory all the way to the 48-yard line. What a run by Darrell Freeman. That one good for 19. Freeman running with a purpose on that one. Sixth carry of the game for Freeman, and Freeman did all the work. First down in Fort Valley State territory. Freeman again. Garrett made the tackle, now to the 43-yard line. Darrell Freeman played at West Georgia. 2017, only rushed it 16 times for 80 yards. Also caught 3 passes for 32 yards. Of course, with the losses of Santee Marshall, Justin Hardy, Freeman, and Edwards off to a great start as well. Smith now play action. Rolling to his left, getting chased, gets it away, and it is almost intercepted. Michael Hicks. There have been a couple of dangerous throws from Daniel Smith in this game. We've got 3:54 now to play before halftime. Exciting way to start our season. Miles and Fort Valley State, they played a tight one last year. We're headed that way again. McNeely and Lee coming to the near side. Tyree up at the top. Tyree has not caught a pass yet in this game. Here's the leading returning receiver for Miles. Smith looking right side. That pass is caught by Tinch. Tinch lost the football. And Fort Valley State saying they've got it. There's a tussle down at the 28-yard line. Tinch got it down to about the 30, and then it caught 32, then coughed it up. And it's going to be Miles football. Let's take one more look. It's Tinch coming outside. And that was Noah Waller who forced it at the 33-yard line. So we got 10 yards before he lost it, and it was recovered by Miles. So Tinch with his third catch of the game. It's recovered by Miles at the 28. It'll be first down. Edwards, right side. First down. Wiggum pushes him out at the 18. 10 more yards for Edwards. What a first half for Edwards. 57 yards on just 5 carries. Smith, Freeman, right side. Bottled up at the 25, at the 15-yard line. And then Garrett on another stop. Second and 7 now for Miles. Freeman stays in the backfield. Smith now to throw. Looking left side for the end zone. It is McNeely. He hauls it in. Touchdown, Miles. What a catch by McNeely. 15 yards, and Miles takes the lead. McNeely went up. June Thomas on the coverage. Junior from Conyers, Georgia, but McNeely won it. So the extra point coming up for Spradlin. McNeely with his first touchdown, the senior from Huntsville, Alabama. It is up and good for Spradlin. So McNeely from 15 yards out. 15-yard reception gives Miles a 17-10 lead. So we've got 2:26 left to play here in the second quarter. Flow Sports is the innovator in live digital sports and original content. Flow Sports streams thousands of live events on the network's 20-plus channels. Go to www.flowsports.tv and start watching today. Flow Sports will exclusively stream over 50 SIAC events this season. So Smith has a touchdown pass. Jarman has a touchdown pass. 2:26 to play before halftime.
You was right there.
And we've got a 17-10 lead for Miles. Much more higher scoring than most of the games we had last season, especially in the first half. McNeil, the transfer from West Alabama, making it happen for Miles. So, seen some newcomers making some impacts here early on. Game underway in Jacksonville. Morehouse already up 6-0 on Morehouse, on Edward Waters, I should say. This kick from Hamill comes down to the 7-yard line. Here comes Mack. And Jeffrey with flags down. He breaks away down the sideline. Looks like it might come back. He's pushed out at the 40-yard line. But this one's going to come back. Ozzie Williams Jr. pushed him out. But it's going to be all for naught for Jeffrey Mack. who's taken over for Lorenzo Smothers as the main returner.
Yeah, but we need every play to be good. Don't worry about getting one play good. Worry about let's
blocking the
rest
back.
of game smooth. Let's do that.
It's going to be first down for Fort Valley State near their own 20-yard line. 2:15 left before halftime.
If you the wide camera, you got to make sure you always where the ball is.
Fort Valley State starting from its own 9.
You got what you need. Wide camera, get where the ball is. Got to pay attention. Got to pay attention.
2:15 left, second quarter. Two teams looking to get a win. Fort Valley trailing right now. Here's Jarman going up the sideline, and it's caught by Bridges. What a game first half he's had. Coleman knocks him out at the 21, but that's going to be 12 more. Another first down for the Wildcats. 6 catches for Bridges for 52 yards. Two minutes left. Now look at the scoreboard. They're saying each team has 3 timeouts. That's not the case. No, Fort Valley's called a couple. I believe Miles has 2 timeouts. Fort Valley, I believe, has 1. Here's Jarman under heavy pressure, and Bridges couldn't handle that one. That pass incomplete. It'll bring up third down. Jarman now 15 for 21 for 147. Austin Stevens with the heavy pressure. So second down and 10. 1:43 remaining. Jarman again. Stevens with the pressure again. He gets it away, and it's incomplete. Try to hit Clark out of the backfield. It'll bring up third and 10. Well, if you're Miles, you're liking the situation right here because if you do get the ball back, you'll have pretty good field position with time left on the clock. A couple of passes here for Fort Valley State. Well, Fort Valley will get the ball to start the second half.
Wide camera, there's too much room in the defense.
Third down,
Too much room for the defense.
and there's a sack.
All right, zone in.
Back at the 12-yard line. Mitchell Smiley is there, along with Marquell Shelton. First time we've mentioned him. Jarman loses 9 on the play. They'll bring up fourth down. So Fort Valley went the wrong way on that possession. Robinson standing in his own territory at the 48-yard line. A minute and counting left in the first half. Streeter almost got back there again. This one fair caught at the 49-yard line by Robinson. They will mark it right at midfield.
Stay with them close up. Stay with them close up. And
49 seconds left to play.
on the field, and you
Second
put
quarter.
on the field. Wide camera, you just stay where you at.
Here's how we got here. Miles got the first touchdown on a 3-yard punt return touchdown by Shade. Bridges had a 2-yard touchdown reception to make it 7-7.
Got too much room behind
Eli Mashburn for 45 yards and made it 10-7 Fort Valley. Jackson Spradlin with a 48-yard field goal to tie it up. And then Dominic McNeely with a 15-yard reception for Miles. And that's how we got to the 17-10 score. 47 seconds left. And a false start penalty against Miles. So now first and 15. Smith off the play fake. He is sacked. Demetrius Harris off the edge all the way back to the 38-yard line. Harris, the junior from Decatur, Georgia, making his first big play for Fort Valley State this season. So a loss of 8. It'll be second down. And a timeout taken by Miles. Next Saturday, our coverage will begin at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have 2 games that start at that same time. Johnson C. Smith out of the CIAA. They'll travel to take on Benedict. Benedict trying to continue their winning ways from last year. And we'll check out Kentucky State. We'll be in Frankfort, Kentucky, as they host Tuskegee next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Both games will be streamed right here on FloFootball.com.
Perfect.
Kamari Darrington here with James Crenshaw on the truck, the hardest working producer in show business, and he's worked extremely hard today here this first week of the season. It's always that first week. There's always that improvement to the second week. So we'll see what happens next weekend. Because I'll be in Frankfurt next week, along with James. The A-team's back together again next weekend. Oh, we've got great play-by-play announcers and producers throughout the season. So we'll be taken care of here during SIAC broadcasts. Here's Freeman. Stacked up. Another tackle for Hansberry. The 40-yard line, 3 yards on the play. Freeman now 48 yards on 9 carries. It's going to be 3rd down and 20. But Miles elects to take it on in. So Miles with a 17-10 lead on Fort Valley State.
All right, follow the teams to the locker room.
As both teams will head to the locker room. Fort Valley State Miles started things off with a punt block, return touchdown by Jerry Shade from 3 yards out. Shamar Bridges with a 2-yard reception from Jarman, making it 7-7. Two teams traded field goals. Eli Mashburn, 45 yards out for Fort Valley State. Jackson Spradlin, 48 yards out for Miles. And the go-ahead score for Miles, a 15-yard touchdown pass from Smith to McNeely. Coming up, the Miles Purple Marching Machine will take the field.
Come to the field. Wow.
You're watching SIAC Football on Flow Sports. Sit back and watch this halftime show, which you can also watch on FlowMarching.com. field. Fort Valley State, the home squad will come out. Come down as the Blue Machine Marching Band. Enjoy the Fort Valley State Marching Band.
Thank you for your show, but the Blue Machine is now about to show out. I got you. Mr. Full City, the Iron Green Sun, without being judged, and Mr. Biden, Senator C.
After another performance by the Fort Valley State Groove Marching Machine, going to remind you the SIAC's first NCAA league and a league-wide apparel deal with Nike. Fancy get official Nike conference gear at www.siac.com. Miles fans, you can get your school's gear from www.milesgoldenbears.com, the official athletic site of Miles Athletics. Fort Valley State fans, go to FVSUsports.com, home of Fort Valley State Athletics. Are you interested in officiating? The Division II Conference Commissioners Association and the Division II Athletics Directors Association have the first decline in amateur officials across the United States. Give back and stay a part of the game and stay in shape while earning extra money. For more information, go to SayYesToOfficiating.com. Again, SayYesToOfficiating.com. Give back to the sport you love and enjoy. And keep up with the latest news and updates regarding SIAC Athletics. Visit the official website of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, www.thesiac.com. Back here after both bands performing at halftime, got a score of 17-10 in favor of Miles on top of Fort Valley State. Amari Darrington, James Crenshaw is in the truck with us. Going to get you updated on other SIAC scores right now. We'll also recap what's happened here at Fort Valley State. If I can go ahead and take care of that. Darius Shade with a punt block return for a touchdown. Got things started for Miles, 7-0 lead for the Golden Bears. Then Slade Jarman with a 2-yard touchdown pass to Shamar Bridges. 2:05 in the first quarter. Tied the game at 7. Eli Mashburn added a 45-yard field goal to make it 10-7. 13:24 left in the second quarter. Jackson Spradlin, 48-yard field goal to tie the game at 10:29 left in the second. That was followed up by a Daniel Smith 15-yard touchdown pass. Dominic Neely as the seesaw went back in favor of Miles. They now lead 17-10. Other scores in the SIAC right now: Valdosta State and Albany State competing in the season opener. And any update on that game as of right now. Game scheduled to start at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Fayetteville State with a 17-0 lead on Benedict. That is in the first quarter. At Edward Waters, it is Morehouse with a 6-0 lead on Edward Waters. That game is in the first quarter. And at halftime, Tuskegee with a 21-20 lead on their rivals with Alabama State. A chance for Tuskegee to get their season off to a good start. And for Alabama State, looking to avoid an 0-2 start. Top 25 action in Division I. So Alabama with a 62-10 lead on New Mexico, 62-10 win over New Mexico State, number 2 team in the country. Number 1 team in the country, Clemson, they got past number 12 Texas A&M 24-10. Georgia with a 63-17 win over Murray State. Coming up in a few minutes, number 6 LSU taking on number 9 Texas. Colorado upset Nebraska 34-31 in overtime. 17 Wisconsin, 61-0 win over Central Michigan. Utah, number 13, 19 country, 35-17 over Maryland blew out number 21 Syracuse, 63-20. Syracuse heads to next week against Clemson. Iowa, number 20 team in the country, with a 30-0 win over Rutgers. Michigan needed 2 overtimes to beat Army, 7-ranked team. Michigan 24-21 Army double overtime. Number 5, Ohio State with a 42-0 win on Cincinnati. Number 22, Washington State with a 45-10 win over, 45-10 lead over Northern Colorado. That game was in the third quarter. Also, the game going on right now. Number 4, Oklahoma with a 7-0 lead on South Dakota. And number 18, UCF with a 14-0 lead on Florida Atlantic. That game is also in the first quarter. Later on, as well, you'll have Tulane taking on Auburn. number 10, 15. 17-10 is our score. Miles with the lead on Fort Valley State. About 7 minutes worth of halftime left here. Martin Arrington along with James Crenshaw on the truck. Let's recap the stats here in the first half for you. Get ready to start the second half. Start with the team stats. Miles with 12 first downs in that first half. Fort Valley State had 11. Miles actually outgained Fort Valley State 188-163. This team over 5 yards per play. Miles 115 rush yards, 73 passing yards. Fort Valley State just 16 yards on the ground. Most of that came from sack yards. 147 yards passing in the first half. Each team had 4 penalties. Miles with 39 yards of penalties. 30 yards of penalties for Fort Valley State. Fort Valley State, Eli Matthews punt 4 times, 29-yard average. 2 punts for Jay Fitch, 35-yard average. Teams struggled on 3rd and 4th down. Miles was 1 for 6 on 3rd down in the first half. Fort Valley State 0 for 5 on 3rd down in the first half. And Fort Valley State missed the 4th down and 10. Fort Valley State 18 minutes, 59 seconds in possession time. And Miles 11 seconds. Individual stats. Daniel Smith, 19 for Miles. Daniel Smith, 9 of 15 for 73 yards and a touchdown. He was sacked twice. Rodney McNeil, he's 2 receptions, 27 yards, a 15-yard touchdown earlier. I'd say Edwards and Ralph Freeman, great first half for both. Edwards, 58 yards on 5 carries, bringing 46 yards on 9 carries for Miles. For Fort Valley State offensively, Slade Jarman's 15 of 23 for 147 yards and a touchdown. He was also sacked twice in the first half. Mark Bridges with a big first half in his Fort Valley State debut. 6 receptions for 52 yards and score. Also, P.A. Walker with a big 37-yard reception in that first half. Rushing has been slow for Fort Valley State. Amari Clark, the starter, 1 attempt for -2 yards. Jalen Loader, 1 attempt for -1 yard. Slade Jarman with 19 net yards on 7 attempts. 2 of those off of sacks. For the defense, for Miles, leading tacklers, Rodney Coleman and Mitchell Smiley, along with Austin Stevens. They all had 4 tackles in the first half. Austin Stevens had a sack. Mitchell Smiley and Bronco Shelton each had half a sack in that first half. Maxwell Wells with a pass deflection, and of course the punt block for Wade Streeter as he returned it for a touchdown here in that first half. For Fort Valley State's defense, Majesty Hansberry had 7 tackles, lead the way. Tyler Moore, Aaron Dorr, and Zach Anderson each with 5 tackles for Fort Valley State. 2 sacks on the first half. Demetrius Harris and Noah Waller with both sacks. And, of course, we've had a couple of near interceptions in the first half, but all in all, it is 17-10 as we get ready to start the second half. Got about 4 minutes left to go. Next Saturday, we will have 2 more games to stream. Tuskegee will be at Kentucky State. We'll see Charlie Jackson, his home debut with Kentucky State. They got a win earlier today. And then also, we'll have Johnson C. Smith taking on Benedict. Both of those games will start at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll have 2 games per week, all the way up to the week before the SIAC Championship game. That will be November 16th at the home of the East Division champion. Well, last year at halftime, this game was tied at 7. Miles took the lead in the third quarter, 13-7. And then Fort Valley State scored 14 unanswered points. The final drive, Slade Jarman with the 8-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Loader with 21.9 seconds left, earned the victory for Fort Valley State. But both teams went in different directions. Fort Valley State lost 6 of their final 7, finished 2-8. Miles ended up starting 0-5, but they ended up finishing 5-6 and ended up winning the SIAC championship. And, of course, we remember couple of those crazy finishes that Miles had last year. The one in Clark, Atlanta, where it was Mikael Jacobs with the touchdown pass with no time left. I about jumped out of the press box. And then the 35-yard extra point. And then following week against Tuskegee, Miles got down 24-7 in that game. Miles came all the way back, got the win. They actually had 2 touchdowns in about 30 seconds. I remember Mitchell Smiley going down the sideline, diving for the pylon, and I guess the official didn't think it was a touchdown, but one of them signaled touchdown. Then Leonard Tyree, as he had done all season long last year, caught the game-winning touchdown from Smith to get it done. So we're on our way to another crazy finish between myself and James, as it always seems to happen between us. I think this is our 7th or 8th game together. I think most of them have been decided by less than 8 points. So we're on our way to another one, and Miles, of course, knows what it's like to be in close games. They were in several close games last year. Fort Valley State, their only 2 wins last year. Miles, of course, and then later on in the season they knocked off Morehouse, and Morehouse was one of the teams that in that East Division that was really a strong team last year. And last Sunday they almost upset Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M is expected to do well in the SWAC this year, so that was a good performance for Morehouse, and they should be looked at as, again, a contender in the East Division. But the big question for the SIAC is, are they able to get a team into the playoffs? They have not done that in a couple of years since Tuskegee went in 2016. About to get underway. It'll be Fort Valley State to receive. Miles receive the opening kickoff, so Fort Valley State will kick. Fort Valley State will get the ball. Miles will kick off. An entertaining first half as we get ready for what should be an entertaining second half as well. Miles with a 17-10 lead. Brady Hamill will kick off. Glad to have you with us on this very hot Saturday. Temperature was 95 degrees at kickoff. Sun setting here at Wildcat Stadium. Temperature now 89 degrees. Able to kick off. Fort Valley State ready to receive it. It's a short pooch kick. No one sees it. It's going towards the sideline. And I believe, the heads-up play right there by Matt Bush, the sophomore from Noonan, Georgia. As no one looked at the ball. That was shades of Alabama and Clemson a couple of years ago. Maxwell Wells almost had his hand on it. And a great job by Bush to keep Fort Valley State in possession. They have it at their own 33 as we start the third quarter. So a big break there for Fort Valley State, as Miles was inches away from getting the ball back. So German, after his 15 for 23 performance, comes out. See if Fort Valley State can get this running game going. German will throw it up on first down up the sideline. Bridges continues his strong play. Another catch out to the 45-yard line. 22 more yards for the junior from Jacksonville. He is having a whale of a game. It's going to be first down. A carry for Clark, and Jalen Thomas, Antonio Evans were there to make the stop. Clark has had no running room at all. He loses another yard. That's just his second attempt of the game. They've been so good running the football, they decided not to even go there. Second down. Jarman right side. That is caught by Shipman up to the 43-yard line. So Jarman now up to 172. We've got a third down coming up. Shipman with his third catch of the game. 3rd and 8. 3rd and 7. Ball resting at the 43. Jarman steps up, and Shelton wraps him up back near the line of scrimmage. Shelton with another sack for Miles, and Fort Valley will have to punt it, as Jarman could not find anybody to throw the football to. And Mashburn will go back to punt for the 5th time today. Robinson standing at his own 10. Mashburn's kick. Angling toward the sideline, and a nice job. It deadens like a 9-iron at TPC Sawgrass. And it's down to the 6-yard line, so a nice punt of 38 yards with no return. And Miles have its worst field position that it's had in this game so far. 13-15 left to play here in the third quarter. And Miles on top 17-10 on Fort Valley State. Smith 9 for 15 for 73 yards in that first half. Freeman in the backfield with Smith. Tyree does not have a catch yet in this game, as well as Antonio Lee. Two of the top receivers for Miles. There's Smith off the play fake. Cuts inside, and he's tackled at the 6-yard line. 3 yards for Smith. Actually, no gain on the play. Sorry about that. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Second drive for Miles will start from inside his own 10-yard line. Just underway here in the second half. Smith, looked like Freeman went the wrong way. And Waller and Harris again combining on the stop as Smith is hit at the 3-yard line. Lost the 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. These two defenses really settled in. It was an offensive first half. Defense is starting to get some momentum here. It's 3rd and 10, 3rd and about 13. Foul on the play clock. Smith hands off to Freeman, and Freeman is wrapped up the 5-yard line. Another tackle for Patterson. So 2 yards on the play, but it won't be enough for a first down. So another punt coming up. Fish to punt for the 3rd time. Malik Rout and let Jeffrey Mack both back deep for Fort Valley State. This is a dangerous area to punt the ball from. 3 on the play clock. Almost blocked it. As they get away from it, Mack led to the bounce and bounced all the way back near midfield. They lost about 10 yards of yardage right there. 10 yards of possession there. But they have great field position at the Miles 49-yard line. And we've got 11:03 left to play. These two teams battling again in the SIAC. Loader in the backfield with Jarman. Walker and Shipman to the near side. On this 1st and 10. Great field position for Fort Valley State. Jarman looked right side, had nowhere to throw it to, and a sack. That's Shelton again. That's his 3rd sack of the game. Back to the 48-yard line. That's a 3-yard loss. Fourth sack for Miles tonight. On 2nd down, Jarman flips it to Loader. Nice one-handed catch, and Loader dragged down from behind by Shelton. He gets it down to the 42-yard line. A little something out of nothing there by Jarman. It's 3 yards short of the first down. That was a nice play. He picks up 10. It'll be 3rd down.
You got too much room in the offense backfield.
Jarman looking left side. Throws incomplete. Looking for Malik Rout, who stopped his route. There were 2 Miles players there. And it's going to be 4th down. And Fort Valley will elect a punt. Once again, a 3-and-out for Fort Valley State. So great field position for the Wildcats, but they could not convert. 6th punt for Mashburn. Robinson back at his own 10. Mashburn's punt. It's end over end. Robinson says get away from it. It's going to roll out of bounds near the 12-yard line. That's where Miles will start its next possession. The SIAC has led Division II in home attendance for 16 straight years and 27 out of the last 29. Want to watch your favorite SIAC teams compete for championships? Go to www.thesiac.com for tickets and information. Miles will start this possession from their own 12. 9:54 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Both teams trying to find some offensive production here to start off this 3rd quarter. And off to Freeman. Freeman right side. Big hole up the right side. And again, Freeman and Edwards have been tough to bring down. They went to the 17-yard line. 5 yards for Freeman. This is a good 1-2 combination here in the backfield for Miles. If they get this passing game started, Miles is going to be one of the more explosive offenses in the SIAC. They're very capable of doing that, and they had to last year in order to win. Smith going up top. Tyree. Not there. Just no connection. And we got a flag on the play. I only know that because the Fort Valley State coaches are upset. I'm standing right next to them. Tyree at the sideline, and so there's going to be a penalty against Fort Valley State. Oh, they wave it off. So it will not be a penalty against Fort Valley State. It'll bring up 3rd down. Smith now 9 for 16, 73 yards. So we got a 3rd down. Freeman in the backfield, 3rd and 5. I think this is a huge 3rd down in this game. Fort Valley State, both defenses have really settled down. Four wideouts for Miles. Smith, right side, complete to Lee. His first catch of the game, Antonio Lee. That's a 1st down to the 25-yard line. Lee makes the catch for 8 yards. Your 1st down to the 25. So Antonio Lee makes his first catch of the season after missing most of last year with an injury. Had just 5 receptions last season. On 1st down, Smith lost the football. It's still loose. And it looked like one of the offensive linemen jumped on top of it. Let's take a look at the replay. As Smith was going to give it to Freeman, and then he just bobbled it. And big number 78, I think that's Aaron Scroggins, was able to fall on top of it, the center. First team All-SIAC selection. Comes up big there. 2nd down after the loss of about 4. Smith looking deep, and he is sacked. Back inside the 10-yard line, there's a flag on the play. It could be for Fort Valley State being offside. Patterson was too far in the neutral zone. So Miles will get a free 5 yards up to the 25-yard line. Second and about 9. 8 minutes left here in the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter so far. Robinson in motion. Freeman in the backfield. This time the Fort Valley State defense is there to make the stop. Antonio Golden was the first man there. A loss of 3. That has not happened very often tonight. Fort Valley, the Miles offensive players have been able to stretch forward for some yardage. It's 3rd and 12. Got to get it to the 34 for a first down. Smith looking to throw. Right side, it is too high for Lee. And we got another flag on the play. That way, I don't see a flag. Is that going to be interference against Fort Valley? I don't see any flag. Who threw it? So the Fort Valley coaches are upset. I'm still looking for the flag. It could be the glare on this press box window. But I'm telling you, I did not see a flag. Well, Fort Valley State was called for a sideline infraction. And so that's a huge penalty. And that's going to give Miles a first down at the 37-yard line. Oh, wow. And Kevin Porter's upset, and I think he may have gotten another 15-yard penalty. Kevin Porter can't believe it. The head coach for Fort Valley State, one of his assistant coaches, may have gotten in trouble. So the sideline warning, and then the game, and that snap, and he has to eat the football at the 20. That's a huge loss. Cordier there for that play. And he's in the game now for Smith. Smith on the sideline. All the way to the 23-yard line. So they lost 14 on the play. So that will not help the the Miles rushing total. Cordier, the graduate senior from New Orleans, into the game. Freeman right side and could not break that last tackle. Otherwise, he would have made a big gainer. I believe it was Garrett that made the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and long as he got out to the 30-yard line. 7 yards for Freeman. It's going to be 3rd and 17. Left side, they go with a run. Freeman again, and he's tackled across the original line of scrimmage. Nathaniel Franey came back to make the tackle at the 38-yard line. It's 8 more yards, but it's well short of the first down, and so Miles will have to punt it again. 5:46 left here in the third quarter. Another tight battle in the SIAC to start off the year. It's going to be Fitch to punt. 4th punt of the game. Mack and Root back deep for Fort Valley State. Fitch's punt. Route makes the fair catch. Signal at the 27. And they will mark it at the 26-yard line. And that's where Fort Valley State will start its possession. SIAC schools rank among the top HBCUs, ranked by U.S. News Best HBCUs report. The SIAC prides itself on being a league whose institutions develop strong minds geared for success through self-actualization. Building tradition with the future since 1913, this is the SIAC, and we play hard. 5:14 left to play here in the third quarter. In a game that was 17-10 at halftime, it remains 17-10. As Fort Valley State starts this drive from their own 26. Jarman hands it off to Loader, and that has not been a good result for Fort Valley State today. Shelton was the first man there. Loader may have gotten a yard. It's up to the 27-yard line. Fort Valley State has 12 yards rushing on the day. They have not been able to run the football. And that was a problem at the beginning of last season. The inability to run the football. Miles also having a little trouble in the passing game. Jarman trying to throw it, and he'll be sacked by Evans back at the 20-yard line. Antonio Evans, the sophomore from Gray, Georgia, had a tackle for loss last season. His first sack with Miles. Evans making a big play. It's going to be third down. Actually, we've got a penalty against Miles. Holding against the defense. Automatic first down on that holding penalty. So negate that play for Evans. And Fort Valley State has first and 10 now at the 37. Jarman to throw. Under pressure again. Going up the sideline towards route. It is picked off. Intercepted, I believe. Or was it incomplete? It was incomplete. I thought he caught it. Let's take another look. That was a fantastic play over there. I thought he caught that ball. Was that Walker? That was Kendra Walker at the 38-yard line. They fell. It was incomplete. Jarman now underneath, and that was a dangerous throw. So he tried to hit Walker. But Darius Roberts was right there. It's going to be, I believe this is third down. So my mistake. I thought Walker had picked it off, but I saw Fort Valley State running a play. I figured that they had not. So now we got third and 10 at the 37. 4:06 to play here in the third quarter. Neither team has been able to crack the scoring column here in the third quarter. 4 receivers set for Fort Valley State. Jarman looking up the field, looking for Walker. He's got it at the 41. Now comes back across the green, and he's still on his feet. He's down to the 43-yard line. He actually gave up a couple of yards that time, but it doesn't matter. Is that one good for 20 yards and another Fort Valley State first down? This has basically all been done on the ground, through the air. Second catch for Walker. Both have been big plays. And we've got an injured Golden Bear on the field. That might be, I haven't seen the number yet. So it's 57. That's Jalen Thomas, the senior from Sylacauga, Alabama. See the last play with Walker. Thomas comes off the field. Nice move. Thomas is on the sideline now. Fort Valley State first down, 3:43 to play here in the third quarter. Clark in the backfield, 4 receivers. And here's Clark. Clark testing the right side, and that's about the best run we've seen from him today. He gets inside the 40 to the 39-yard line, 4 yards for Jamari Clark. It's going to be second down at the 39. We come up on 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Fort Valley State looking to tie the game on this drive. Jarman, right side. Has a man that's caught by, got to see the number, that's Shipman again, A.J. Shipman. And we got an injured Fort Valley State Wildcat, and we've got flags on the play. Play came down to the 35-yard line, good for 4 yards. And Shipman makes his 4th catch of the game. But we've got some flags everywhere. We've got to sort all this out. Like Bridges is cramping up for Fort Valley State. And now we got flags everywhere. That's what it's all about. And Shipman. Looks like I'm going to have the big lineman got tangled up. And each player draws a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And so the penalties will offset. I believe the play will stand. So it's going to be 3rd and 2 from the 35-yard line. Highly contested game. Of course, Fort Valley State went up to Fairfield and earned a 2-point win. And another tight battle here with Fort Valley State and Miles. Great way to start off the second season of SIAC coverage here on Flow Sports. 3rd and 2, and look like they got Miles offside. Jarman going for a bigger play. That's incomplete, but they'll get a first down.
Keep the ball inside.
It should be a first down for Fort Valley State. Jarman now 20 of 31 for 206. So a big penalty there. So it'll bring a first down at the 30-yard line. First down Wildcats. Trailing the Golden Bears 17-10. Jarman flips it to Clark. Clark cuts it back to the left side. Shelton is there. Roberts as well, and they finally stop it. No gain on the play. They bring up second down. Jeffrey Mack is yet to make a catch in this game. We've seen the Bridges and Walker making big plays for Fort Valley State in the passing game. 2nd and 10. 4 wideouts with Clark in the backfield. Play fake. Jarman over the middle. Shipman can't make the catch. It was a little too high for him. AJ's only 5'7". That would have been probably tall enough for Russell Westbrook or Damian Lillard, but not enough for AJ Shipman. Sorry to bring in a basketball reference during a football game, but that's the first thing that came to my head. Basketball season is around the corner, though. All right, 3rd and 10. Here's Jarman looking to throw, under pressure again. Stops, throws, and it's incomplete. They got a flag down in the secondary. I believe Walker was the intended target. Let's see what the flag is about. It's in the secondary. It actually might have been Joseph Ross as the intended target, number 88. So let's see what the flag is. Pass interference against Miles. That's going to be a first down for Fort Valley State. So another big penalty on this drive. And Fort Valley State now in the red zone. Let's take one more look. Jarman was trying to get out of there, and he finally got away. In any event, it's first down. Here's Jarman under pressure, and he'll be sacked. Back at the 20-yard line, they just came from everywhere. Shelton and Roberts were there on the stop. Loss of 4 on the play. Back to the 19. 90 seconds left in the quarter. Loader now in the backfield with Jarman on the 2nd down and 14. Blitz again. Jarman left side wide open. Along the sideline, that's Malik Rout. That's his first catch of the game. And Malik will get it down near the 10-yard line, not the 9-yard line. It's good for 10 yards. It's going to be 3rd down. Third and about 3. 3rd and 2. You got to get it to the 6-yard line. Loader stays in the backfield. Jarman flips it. Loader cuts inside the 5. He's tackled by Nictavius Floyd at the 5-yard line. And it's good enough for a first down. He only got 2 yards, but that's all he needed. Now it's 1st and goal. Fort Valley State looking for the game-tying touchdown. We come under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Great game here between Miles and Fort Valley State. What we expected. 30 seconds. 4 wideouts. Jarman, right side. Touchdown! Fort Valley State. It's Walker, his 3rd catch of the game from 5 yards out. And we're an extra point away from a tie ball game. So Walker, his first touchdown reception for Fort Valley State. Jarman now with two touchdown throws on the day. This is an extra point from Mashburn, looking to tie it at 17. He gets it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So we are all even once again. Our 3rd tie of the game with 22 seconds left here in the third quarter. And while we're getting ready for the next possession, let's update you on these scores. They're in the third quarter in Montgomery. Tuskegee up 30-23. 7:47 left in the third quarter. Morehouse up 6-0 on Edward Waters. That score is still holding there at the first quarter. We'll try to get an update on that score in a minute. Fayetteville State with a 26-0 lead on Benedict as they play in the second quarter. And still nothing from Valdosta State at Albany State. Right here, we've got a 17-16 lead. 17-17 tie. Earlier today was Kentucky State, 13-7 over Robert Morris. Quincy University with a 38-8 win over Central State. I'll see Central State in a couple of weeks. They'll be at Clark Atlanta. Another trip to CAU Panther Stadium. We had some memorable moments there last year. So we'll see what happens in 2019. And Mashburn's kick taken by Robinson at the 11. Robinson cuts it right side, has some room across the 40. Good return by Robinson as he gets it out to the 42-yard line. And that's where Miles will start its possession. So good return by Anthony Robinson and a play that his team needed as we get prepared to go to the fourth quarter. So Miles, which has really struggled offensively here in this third quarter, now will get a chance to start near the midfield stripe. Freeman in the backfield with Harvey. Shifts over to the right. On first down, Smith looking to throw, looking left side, going up top for Tyree. He's got it. Believe he made the catch at the 35. He did. Leonard Tyree, his first catch of the game. That one good for 23 yards, and Miles is on the move. First catch for Tyree. He is a big game player. And he came up big right there. That will be the final play of the third quarter. So Miles is driving as we come up to the end of the third quarter. Tied at 17. Fort Valley State with that 6-yard touchdown pass from Jarman to Q8 Walker. Ties the game at 17. That was the only score in that third quarter. The race has begun for the 2019 SIAC Cross Country Championship, which takes place in Rock Hill, South Carolina on October 25th. Fans can follow the SIAC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the SIAC for all access coverage. All roads lead to Rock Hill, South Carolina for the 2019 SIAC Volleyball Championship from November 18th through the 20th. You can follow the SIAC on social media at the SIAC for full coverage. What a great game here at Fort Valley, Georgia, Wildcat Stadium. My first trip here to Fort Valley, Georgia. Great facility here at Wildcat Stadium. And we're watching Miles and Fort Valley State, each team looking to kick their seasons off with victories. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Miles at the 35-yard line. Smith going up top. Tyree incomplete. No flag on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 35. Fourth quarter underway here. Fort Valley State 237 total yards. Miles just 216. As far as the totals go, a little bit more balance for Miles. The game that's tied at 17. 4 wideouts for Miles. Smith on the play fake, goes straight up the middle. Inside the 30 to the 27. Picks up 8 on the run. Bring up 3rd down. Third and 2. Big play here in this game. Smith looks like it's going to be offside. He's going for Tyree in the end zone. He can't get it to him. Tyree just not enough on that one, but it's going to be 5 yards for Miles. It's going to be a 1st down. As Fort Valley State was a little too eager to get that play started. Malcolm Garrett, junior from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, the veteran. Big penalty there for Fort Valley State. Gives Miles a 1st down at the 22. Game tied at 17. Freeman to the 20-yard line. Michael Hicks on the stop. Freeman only got a yard on the play. Well, how many times, James, when you and I get together, we're going to have these close games? My goodness. We might not need to work together next Saturday in Frankfort. Oh, I love close games. I don't know about James, but this is a lot of fun. I don't know if Willie Slater and Charlie Jackson are going to be happy we're coming down there. That pass over the middle is caught to the 6-yard line. They'll mark it at the 7. Antonio Lee with his 2nd catch of the game. That's good for 14 yards. That's a 1st and goal for Miles. So Antonio Lee in his return to the field coming up big here in this 4th quarter. That one good for 14 yards. So now 1st and goal. Miles looking to regain the lead. Just had a 3rd tie of the game. Freeman inside the 5, cut down at the 4. Actually, they'll mark it at the 5. 2 more for Freeman. He's up to 69 yards now on the ground. Now they'll bring Edwards in. Haven't seen much from Edwards in the 2nd half. And we've got a timeout taken, I believe. I'm not sure who took the timeout. But in any event, 12:37 left here in this 4th quarter. All eyes are on the Eastern Division as the champion will earn the chance to host the 8th annual SIAC Football Championship on November 16th. Fans, you can visit www.thesiac.com for official conference and championship game gear. Get your tickets today. Flow Sports is the innovator in live digital sports and original content. Flow Sports streams thousands of live events on the network's 20-plus channels. Go to www.flowsports.tv to start watching today. Flow Sports will exclusively stream over 50 SIAC events this season. Because last year they had the football and the football season, the basketball tournament up in Birmingham. Tuskegee with a new head basketball coach, men's basketball coach, and Benji Thomas. And Kentucky State naming its first ever men's volleyball coach. They didn't have to go very far. She's in the same room. It's Deshandra Gorey, the women's volleyball coach, so she'll be running both programs. Similar to what she did at Shaw, starting that women's volleyball program, and did an outstanding job, and she's now going to have responsibility of both at Kentucky State. Good luck to her and the rest of the teams. So we got a second and goal from the 4. Smith off the fake, coming right side, going for the corner. He's down at the 2-yard line. Good tackle by Hansberry. Another tackle for him. It's going to be third down and goal on the 2-yard line. $11:40 to go, fourth quarter. Smith to Freeman. Edwards stacked up, and a second effort, touchdown Miles. Dante Edwards gets into the end zone on the second effort from 2 yards out. He was stopped. He kept going. Bounced off the tackle. Actually ran into his own man, but then one last player had a chance at it. Harris could not bring him down. And Miles regains the lead at 23-17. Edwards with his first touchdown. That was actually his first carry of the second half. Now Spradlin with the extra point. And he knocks it through. Edwards from 2 yards out. And Miles regains the lead. Now 24-17 with 11:33 left here in the fourth quarter. Got an update on that score as Valdosta State, the defending Division II national champion. 28-3 lead at halftime on Albany State. Also at halftime, Fayetteville State with a 26-0 lead on Benedict. At halftime, Morehouse with a 9-6 lead on Edward Waters. And what a game in Montgomery. Tuskegee 31, Alabama State 31. 6:24 to go in the third quarter out there. Here within the fourth quarter, Hamill will kick off. So Fort Valley State behind again. Trailed 7-0, trailed 17-10, and now trailing 24-17. Fort Valley will have another possession here. Mack Walker and route back deep for Fort Valley State. This one's going to be to Walker at the 9-yard line. Here he comes. QA Walker hits the sideline. Still on his feet, and he's across the 30, all the way out to the 35-yard line. They'll mark it at the 34. So 11:26 left here in the fourth quarter. So first down, actually at the 33-yard line they mark it. Miles leading for the third time today. Fort Valley State had a 10-7 lead earlier. Here's Jarman on the run. Big hole left side, and Wells with the tackle. We've got a flag down. That'd be against Fort Valley State. I saw the reaction of Joseph Ross. As Wells made the tackle on Jarman. Perhaps Jeffrey Mack on Wells, and then Wells came off the block and made the tackle. That's the 8th penalty for Fort Valley State for 65 yards. 11:20 left. So that play knocks it back to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down and 20. Jarman to throw. He flips to Clark. Clark cuts it up to the right side and takes it to the 25-yard line. Not much doing there. Gets 2 yards on the play. Jarman has done it all tonight. 23 of 35. Now 24 of 36 for 224 and 2 scores. Fort Valley just has 15 yards rushing in the game. Jarman over the middle. Shipman can't catch it. Mitchell Smiley does for Miles. It's intercepted. And Joseph Ross has to make the tackle at the 35-yard line. A huge play for Miles as Mitchell Smiley comes up with the pick. First big mistake for Jarman. And Mitchell Smiley, who had the big fumble recovery touchdown against Tuskegee last year, gives Miles a golden opportunity to push the lead even more. With 10:34 here in the fourth quarter. They will start at the Fort Valley 35-yard line. Jarman in limited action last year, only threw 3 picks last year, but that one might be on Shipman. He could not handle it, and Smiley was there, Johnny on the spot. So big play for Mitchell Smiley, the sophomore from Huntsville. Here's Freeman up the middle. Tackled at the 3. So now, mark it at the 31. 4 more yards for Freeman. State got a hole here, or might put this game out of reach. Big possession for the Fort Valley State defense. Miles looking to come here to Fort Valley and get a road victory to start the season. Smith, play fake. Hits Tinch wide open. Montavious Tinch inside the 25 to the 22. 9 yards for Tinch, and another big play for Daniel Smith, who's now up to 127 passing. First down, Miles at the 22. They're within field goal range for Jackson Spradlin. Here's Freeman, right side, big hole. Down to the 15-yard line. And now you can see the confidence growing for Miles. It's slipping away from Fort Valley State. Still got plenty of time left, 9:22 left. Fort Valley scored 2 touchdowns in the last 7.5 minutes last year to get the win. That included a 5-minute drive. Second down and 3. 7-yard gain for Freeman. Here's Edwards, and Edwards hits the hole hard. That's a helmet. That's somebody's helmet came off. It's like that was the helmet of Cameron Gordon. I think everybody in the building thought it was a fumble. I think even the Fort Valley State coaches thought. But that's not the case. It's down to the 12-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. That's a first down for Edwards. I was about to say lost the football, but Cameron Gordon lost his helmet, and that's what was rolling around on the ground. Coming up on 8 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Edwards again. He's just pushing the pile right now. They're not fancy what they're doing here. They're going straight ahead. 4 more yards for Edwards. So they start off with Freeman, and then you got Edwards, who's even bigger than Freeman, and now they bring Freeman back in. Fort Valley needs a turnover or a big play here. Play clock at 10. 7:45 on the clock. Smith going for the end zone. Caught! That's Tyree. Leonard Tyree, touchdown, Miles. From 7 yards out, Tyree does it again. The second catch of the game, but it's a huge one. Fort Valley, as Miles now leads 30-17. So Tyree, who caught 9 touchdown passes last season, second in the SIAC, comes through again with his first of the season. Ian Smith had that great connection at the beginning of last season. Extra point from Spradlin is good. And so Miles has scored 14 unanswered points. Scored 21 unanswered points now. Well, 14 unanswered points, I'm sorry. 7:32 left in the fourth quarter. Miles up 31-17. So now Fort Valley State, which has not had much of a running game, just 15 yards rushing. Coming into this next possession, Smith now with 2 touchdown passes, along with Jarman, so each have 2 touchdowns. Jarman 24-37 for 224. Smith now 14 of 22 for 133. And you got to think that for Fort Valley, they're just going to be throwing the ball now the rest of the game. They really haven't run the ball effectively anyway. But now down 2 scores with half the quarter remaining. Fort Valley State's got to get on its business and get on in a hurry. Hamill kicks off. Fort Valley needs a big play. It's Walker at the 11. Walker reverses field. Finds a seam. Oh, he could not break the tackle. He had an opening for a big return, but he was cut down. They will mark it right at the 26-yard line. He almost broke it. What a shoestring tackle that was. I believe that was either Terry Beckham or could have been Gradarius Brown. Yeah, Gradarius Brown. I want to give the right man the credit for that. That was a great play. Brown, the freshman from Galion, Alabama, made a huge play for special teams. So now Fort Valley State starting its drive from the 26. 7:24 left in the game. Here's Jarman. Up the sideline. It's Ross. First catch of the game for Ross, and Ross is still going. Walker having a tough time all the way out to the 48-yard line. So Jarman with a 22-yard pass, and that's another first down. So Ross with his first reception, a grad student from Atlanta. So Fort Valley now on the move from the 48-yard line. 7 minutes to go in the fourth. Clark in the backfield with Jarman. He gets the handoff. Nice cut. Clark going straight up the middle. Jamari Clark, his best run of the night to the 42-yard line. That's going to be a first down for Fort Valley State. So Clark, certainly Miles probably expecting to throw the ball on every down. They sneak in a 10-yard run. .6:45 and counting to go. Jarman to throw again. Under pressure, hit hard by Smiley. All the way back at midfield. Loss of 8 on the play. As Jarman cannot get the pass away. Smiley came in untouched and just rocked Slade Jarman. Latavius Floyd was also there. So second and long. Second and 18. Fort Valley State can't waste time here on these plays. Here's Jarman again. Under pressure from behind. He's sacked. Latavius Floyd had the initial rush, then came back. We got another flag in the middle. And I think the official is pointing at Jarius Shade. And Reginald Ruffin, the head coach of Miles, is going to have somebody else to be upset with. You see how fiery Coach Ruffin can be. He's laid back at times, but when he gets upset, you can feel it. So it's a holding penalty. So it's not an automatic first down. Let's give him 10 yards. So the hold, I believe, is against Jerry Shade right there in the middle of your screen. Well, the left side of your screen. And now we've got another flag. This might be against Miles. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, just as I said that Coach Ruffin's laid back, he picks up a 15-yard penalty for being too far out on the sideline. Now, usually they give the head coaches a little bit of leeway right there. But that's a big first down. That's going to take it all the way to the 26-yard line. So back-to-back, a penalty of 10 yards and a penalty of 15. That's 25 yards in penalties. And with 6 minutes left, Fort Valley State in business now. Jalen Loader in the backfield. 4 wideouts for Fort Valley State. And now Ruff again pleading his case along the sideline with the official. Ruffin didn't go past the numbers. He was right in front of him. But still, maybe something he said. There he is. He was right. He was on the field. No question about it. A little too far for the official. Usually they call it, they go past the numbers, but maybe it was something that Ruffin said. They usually give the head coach a little leeway there with that sideline. Jarman under pressure again. He gets away this time. Now throws too high, incomplete for Ross. He had Root open, and that could have been a touchdown. But Jarman had to get rid of it quickly. He did not have time to throw it to him. Marquell Shelton, he's been in the backfield all night. And he almost had another sack. And then Root was running free. Tried to get it to Ross, and it was just too high for him. Jarman a little under pressure there. So now 2nd and 10 with 5:51 to play. Jarman with the flags down. It was caught by Ross. It's going to be a false start, I think, against Fort Valley. They blew it dead. Right guard flinched a little bit. Well, that was offside against the defense. I'm sorry. Miles jumped early. Well, that actually worked out for Miles because Ross made the catch along that sideline. Would have been first down around the 15-yard line. Instead, it's 1st and 5 at the 20. Still Fort Valley on the move again. Well, 3 straight penalties for Miles after they had been. Both teams had an equal number of penalties. Now, Fort Valley State trying to take advantage here, trailing by 14. Jarman, left side, and there was nobody there. Ross cut off his route. It's incomplete.
Pay attention.
That was past attempt number 39 for Jarman. .545 left to go, fourth quarter. Fort Valley State trying to get into the end zone. Jarman, play fake, right side, tipped, intercepted. It was picked off by Jerry Shade. So his second big play of the game and another pick. Well, let's find out. No signal's been made. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Remember, now that they can go to the replay. So they've called it incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 5. I thought he caught it. It's incomplete. That's the second time I've missed that today. And now we're going to have a timeout. So now we got a timeout. So let's take one more look at that throw. He was looking for Walker. It was tipped in the air. That's actually, I think someone came over and knocked it out at the last minute. I thought it was a pick by somebody. Well, Maxwell Wells was actually the last one that came up with it. Take one more look. Bounced up. Coleman had a chance at it, and then Maxwell Wells picked it up off the ground. I think that's an interception. Oh, my. Well, the officials missed one right there. There's no replay. So, unfortunately for Miles fans, Fort Valley State gets a break. Can they take advantage of it? This could very well be the ball game here. 4th and 5 from the 21. They've got to have it here. They got to get it down to the 16-yard line. 5:39 left. You got to figure they might get one more possession. A big fourth quarter from Miles. Here's Jarman. Pump fake over the middle. Oh, too high for Shipman. Incomplete. And that could very well do it for Fort Valley State. Just Shipman was open, and he would have had a touchdown if he had hit it. And actually, Shipman, if he kept running a little bit, he might have made that catch. Oh, my. Missed opportunities there for Fort Valley State. So 5.5 minutes left. Miles will take over at the 21-yard line. And Miles will now try to put the finishing touches on what is right now a 14-point lead and possibly a 1-0 start for Miles College. Freeman right side. Outside, that's Edwards. He is tackled at the 24-yard line. I think Fort Valley is going to be calling timeouts here. Yeah, I think Miles is going to take off every second of that clock it possibly can. So a 2-yard touchdown for Edwards early in the fourth quarter, and then Leonard Tyree. 8-yard touchdown reception with about 7.5 minutes left. And Miles, 14-point lead in the football. Edwards. Near the 30-yard line. It'll be a yard short of the marker. Good for 6 yards for Edwards. 3rd and a yard. 4:25 and counting. Edwards in the backfield again. And off to Edwards. Big hole. That's a first down and more. Edwards across the 45. Finishes the run near midfield. They'll mark it at midfield. And a big first down. That should seal the deal for Miles College. 20 more yards. Edwards close to 100 yards tonight. Now Miles content under 4 minutes left and run the clock. So Miles looking like it's going to get its 6th win. His last 7 games dating back to last season. Fort Valley State going to be snake bitten here by Miles. The return to sender the loss last year in Fairfield. Freeman out to the 48-yard line. So they did it on the ground. Edwards 97 yards on the ground. Freeman now 78 yards on the ground. Jarman 25 of 42 with 446 yards and an interception with 2 touchdowns. Well, looks like it's going to be all for naught here for Fort Valley State. 3 minutes left. So we saw a seesaw battle up until the start of the fourth quarter. There's Freeman. He's loose. 35, 30. Cuts it outside, now cuts it back. That's a block for Tyree to the 15-yard line. And Freeman down to the 14-yard line. That one good for 34 yards. And Freeman has put a capper on this one. What a great job by this Miles 1-2 punch of Freeman and Edwards. They have done the job. Smith has not been terribly bad. 14-22 for 133. 2 touchdowns. A big fourth quarter as Miles comes through again. 4th straight game. They've had to come up with big plays. Here's Edwards inside the 5, and that'll seal it. Touchdown, Miles. Putting the cherry on the sundae. 14 more yards for Edwards. He's got 110 yards, and that will do it. Edwards to the 2nd touchdown of the quarter. Again, the ground game, the difference for Miles. They have rolled up now 20 points here in this 4th quarter. Fort Valley, they've got to find a way to get the running game going. German throwing 42 times is not going to get it done for the Wildcats. And Clark with a disappointing performance. Forward carry for 12 yards. Extra point is good. 38-17. Miles surging ahead. Now 21 unanswered for Miles. Well, next Saturday, Tuskegee will head to Kentucky State. James and I will take the trek up there as well. 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Johnson C. Smith will take on Benedict. Let's update you on the other scores tonight in the SIAC. Alabama State now have 38-31 on Tuskegee. That's in the 4th quarter. Morehouse 9-6 on top of Edward Waters, that tries to get its first win of the season. Fayetteville State with a big 33-0 lead on Benedict. And Valdosta State leading Albany State 28-3 at halftime. That was the last update we got. We'll try to get in another one here before the night is over. Well, it looked like we're going to have a frantic 4th quarter finish, but Miles put the kibosh to that one. They've dominated this 4th quarter. Congratulations to Reginald Ruffin. 6th win in 7 games now. That one is going out of bounds, and that will not make Reginald Ruffin happy, even though he is ahead by 21. Fort Valley State, they just could not finish drives. They had a turnover on downs. Fort Valley just could not really finish drives today. Big interception there. Another turnover on downs in the last possession here in the 4th quarter. For Fort Valley, 1:53 remaining. Let's start from the 35. And we got a false start, I believe, against Fort Valley State. When you get to this point now, you've known that it's going to be a loss for Fort Valley State. They'll fall to 0-1. You got to think with this, the passing game really stood out to me was the play of Walker and especially Shamar Bridges. And unfortunately, he had to deal with cramps in the second half and could not give them all the production he was giving them before. Jarman again is hit hard in the backfield and another sack for this Miles defense. There's now 7 sacks in the game. Just nothing doing for Miles College to nothing doing for Fort Valley State. That went back to the 26-yard line, 4-yard loss. Fort Valley State now, 12 yards rushing tonight. Jarman out to Clark. Stevens is out there. Cut down at the 31. I'll actually put it at 32. Six yards. Jarman adding to his total. Next week, Fort Valley State will travel to Florida A&M. It's a third down. It's going to be 4th and 9. Miles will host Morehouse in the game for a rematch from last year's Chicago Football Classic. But Morehouse got the last-second touchdown from Jamel Gooden in the end zone to win that game 23-21. Mashburn a punt. Oh, snap. Had one blocked early in the game. And Robinson just says, you know what, just get away from it. And it'll bounce to the 40. And all Miles will do is probably kneel it down, and that will end it. Slade Jarman, 26 of 43, 252 yards and an interception with 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 7 times, and that really took Fort Valley State out of their offensive rhythm. And then the running game, just 12 yards rushing tonight. A lot of that had to do with the sacks. But between the starting running backs, Jalen Loader and Jamari Clark, 15 yards on just 7 attempts. It's not going to get it done. And you look at Miles rushing the football, 227 yards, but the combination of Freeman and Edwards combined for 225 yards on 32 carries. Edwards had 2 scores, including the game sealing touchdown. Daniel Smith 14 of 22 for 133 yards. And he threw passes to 7 different receivers. Fort Valley State's Jarman threw it to 8 different receivers. There's the kneel down. Monquel Shelton. Leaders on the defense. Austin Stevens, 7 tackles for Miles. Majesty Hansberry, 15 tackles for Fort Valley State. He had a big night, but it's all for naught. That will do it. Miles, a 38-17 win on Fort Valley State. Once again, next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuskegee will take on Kentucky State. Johnson C. Smith will take on Benedict. So for James Crenshaw, I'm Kamari Darrington saying so long from Wildcat Stadium. You've been watching SIAC Football on Flow Sports. Be safe, and we'll see you next